Hello friends, welcome back to my channel. This is Sonny and I am powered by Tea and Tarot. And today is the first day of my vlog on Drop 'em 78. I'm going to be recording these on my way to work every day and talking about yesterday's card and what I learned from trying to deepen my relationship with a particular tarot deck. And the deck that I have chosen is the Ritual Tarot, and hopefully I will be able to pop a picture of my card of the day yesterday up above. And my card yesterday was the Ace of Pentacles. So the Ace of Pentacles for me has always been about monetary opportunity, being able to sowing a seed of wealth. But I actually had originally decided not to use a calibrating deck because this is my first Drop 'em 78, and I was going to, listen to Esther and not actually use a calibrating deck. But I feel like I might have to help me navigate the Ritual Tarot, because one of the things that I've really struggled with in my entire life of doing tarot, which I still feel like I'm very much a noob when it comes to tarot, because I've only been doing tarot for just a little under 5 years. It's almost been 5 years. And I feel like I struggle every time I pull cards, and I'm digging into the guidebook every single time, and I have never really been able to trust my intuition. I've really struggled with that. That's been one of my biggest struggles when trying to learn how to read tarot, is I don't trust myself. I don't trust my intuitive hits. And most of the time I just stare at a card and I feel like I have no idea what I'm looking at. I don't know what it means to me. I don't know how to interpret anything that I'm looking at. And I think that's why I was drawn to the Ritual Tarot, is because it is, to me, feels so out in left field compared to the Rider-Waite-Smith that it's gonna force me to use my intuition more. So, and that's, I think, my main goal with this is not even to get to know the Ritual Tarot, which I expect is going to happen anyway, but that's not my main goal. My main goal is to force myself to be more in touch with my intuition and to trust it, to trust the first thing that pops into my head, and not be so rigid as far as this is what the book meaning says. So that's my main goal. So yesterday, which was our first day, I joined the live kickoff meeting, and we had breakout sessions, and when we broke out, and I was trying to talk to the lady that I was paired up with about what I thought, how this card speaks to me. The Ace of Pentacles in the Ritual Tarot, to me, it doesn't look like a coin, which in almost every other Ace of Pentacles I've ever seen in any of the other decks that I own, it very specifically looks like a coin, like a piece of money. But this one, it didn't look like a coin. It looks like a shield. And so the question was, how does the Ace of Pentacles inform your journey with the Drop 'em 78 challenge? And when I told her it looked like a shield, I said, I feel like this tarot is telling me that it is going to be my place of safety. It's going to shield me. It's going to give me a place that I can feel safe, that I can become the seed. The Ace of Pentacles is not the seed. I'm the seed. The Ace of Pentacles is my shield. It's going to protect me. It's going to shield me and give me a safe place to grow. It's not going to force me to grow. It's not going to even help me to grow, except to shield me from things that would keep me from growing. It's still going to be a tough process. I've still got to deal with the dark. I still am going to have to deal with the darkness and the pushing out of the darkness and the wind and the rain and the fire. But it's going to protect me, and it will give me a safe place to deal with those things. So for me, the Pentacles almost feels like the dark place. It's not the lush green, at least not in this deck. Not for me, not this time, not in this deck. It's going to be the place where I have to grapple with the dark stuff. And then I'm going to have to grapple with the forest fire in the wands. And then I'm going to have to grapple with the thunderstorm in the rain, in the water suit. And then I'm going to have to grapple with the wind and the thunder and the lightning in the fire, in the air suit, before I'm going to be able to bloom in the majors. So it was actually really fairly deep for me. And felt like I tapped into my intuition, at least for one card on one day, like I've never tapped into my intuition before. And it was kind of crazy, a little scary, and also exciting, so, and emotional. So, with that being said, I'm going to try my best to keep these vlog entries kind of short and sweet, to the point. And don't at me for doing this while I'm driving, because talking to myself while I'm driving is actually something I do quite frequently. So I'm just going to bring you guys along for the ride. So yeah, I think that's it. I am journaling, so I'm kind of repeating what I journaled yesterday. But I am doing the D3. I'm doing the definition, the detail. I'm not doing D4. Actually, I'm kind of doing D4, but I haven't been journaling. I didn't journal the D4, and I might have started. I get squirreled so easily. So I don't know if I already said this or not. If I did, sorry. But I had originally decided I'm not going to use a calibrating deck, and then last night I decided, yes, I am. But I'm not using a deck in the traditional sense. I'm using I'm calling it my Tarot with Training Wheels deck. So I did the Lisa Pepez Tarot with Training Wheels probably, I don't know, 6 or 8 months ago, because I felt the need to like get back to basics, and I started using the Rider-Waite-Smith all over again, and I got real close with the Rider-Waite-Smith for a couple of months because I felt like that was the only thing I could actually read with, and even then I still would stare at a card and go, what is this telling me? I don't even know what I'm looking at. Even though, I mean, I could describe the scene, but I don't know what that means to me. You know, I was really, really struggling with my intuition and intuitive hits. So I went through and I'm like, okay, let's try this Tarot with Training Wheels, even though I've been doing this for, 4 years, and I feel like I ought to know what I'm doing, but I don't. So I took I bought a blank cards, let's see, what do you want to call them? The poker size? Yeah, poker size. The poker size blank cards, and I just hand wrote the name of all 78 cards of the tarot, and then I distilled each card. I went through that process with her Tarot with Training Wheels, and I went through each card and came up with what I thought was at its core the meaning of that card. The one word that to me, which is very, very personal, so it might not be for anybody else, but to me, what that card means. And I have referenced that almost every time I do a reading. I reference that. So I'm going to calibrate the ritual tarot with my Training Wheels tarot. And I didn't do what she suggested, which was write a keyword on an actual tarot deck. I decided that, to me, any individual tarot deck, that keyword could be different. So if I'm looking at the say the Wild Unknown, the keyword for the High Priestess is definitely going to be different than the keyword I use on the Rider-Waite-Smith. So any particular given deck, a keyword is going to change because of the imagery. So how do I distill down the essence of that card? You don't use imagery, just the name of the card. And what I've started doing, which I haven't finished yet, but I am working through the deck, what I've started doing is I'm going back through the minors and I'm adding in the astrological symbols and the elemental symbols of each card. So then I'm going to have this playing card size deck with just the name of the card, a single keyword, and then the astrological and elemental associations. So I'm going to use my Training Wheels deck. That's what I'm calling it. My Training Wheels deck. To calibrate. Because the distilled down version in my personal deck of the Ace of Pentacles is opportunity. Opportunity. which makes a lot of sense. It still makes sense. To look at the Ace of Pentacles as a shield, because the Ace of Pentacles is not the opportunity. The Ace of Pentacles is the protection that I need to be the opportunity. The Ace of Pentacles is not the seed. I'm the seed. I'm the seed. And I'm vulnerable and I need protection. And the Ritual Tarot is telling me that it will be my shield. It will be my protection. And it will give me a safe place to grow. Which I think is super profound. So, I'm really excited. I'm really, really excited to dive deeper into this deck. Even though I'm not gonna lie, I've owned this deck for well over a year and I've never read with it, not once, because it is super intimidating to me. So intimidating. And I think the only way I'm ever gonna work with this deck is if I do it this way first. If I go through and deep dive each individual card, is how the only way I'm going to be able to have a meaningful relationship with this deck, because I'm so intimidated by it. I'm not cool enough for this deck. I'm definitely not cool enough for this deck. This is a deck that all the cool tarot people use. I'm not cool enough for this deck. And that's what I've convinced myself, that I'm not cool enough for this deck. So, there is that. Sorry. I am driving, so that is my first priority. Anyway, I'm going to let you guys go. At least I thought I was doing that like 8 minutes ago, but I guess I got on a tangent, which happens to me very frequently. I very, very frequently get on tangents, and I'm very easily squirreled. You will find that out if you stick with me during this next 78 days while I do this challenge. I am very easily squirreled. So, you guys have a wonderful day, and I will see you in the next vlog. Bye!